Hello and welcome back. So this project is either going to turn out really cool or be an epic fail. Stay to the end to see, because I even don't know. What we have here is the BCT Hawaiian Treat right here. If I can, I do have a picture of her, I just have to find it. Beautiful flower. I've had this one since June of 2021. Bought it at Fantasy Orchids, which is an orchid nursery here in the Denver area. She was in spike, she bloomed, put her on this mount, and as you can see, she's done lots and lots of growth, but no blooming. And then I realized she's been on this mount for almost 3 years. I'm kind of scared to take her off. I have my spray bottle so I can wet roots. She does have new roots coming in, as you can see, and that is why I want to get into her now. I am thinking of cutting off some of these older pieces back here in the back. Once I get her off the mount, I'll decide, and I say that with such confidence, to get her off the mount, because as you can see, some of these roots have grown into the mount. But what I'm going to do between the name tag, and I'm also going to use a little one of those little tooth flosser things, the little edge, the little pointy edge, try to get up underneath stuff. Possibly have to use the actual floss string to try to get up under roots. There may be some root damage. There may be some sacrifices that have to be made. I'm not too worried because I do have new roots coming. I do need to be more careful of the new roots than the older roots. She is a monofoliate and bifoliate. So that is why I waited for new roots to come in, because just in case she takes more of the bifoliate attribute of dropping all of her roots when she gets repotted, remounted, messed with, looked at, all of those things. So the moss is damp. I did water her pretty good last night. So I'm going to take as much of the moss off as I can, and then we will see about getting her off. I've also already taken the wire that was holding her off. I'm going to put her on the same mount. If I can't get all the roots off of the mount and there's some roots left behind, probably not the best thing to do, but I'm going to leave it on there because I don't want to take the time, and I know, lazy of me, but I don't want to take the time to boil the mount, all that stuff. It's not like a different orchid is going on here. It's the same orchid. Actually, this moss is not coming out very well, which is probably a good sign that there are roots up underneath here. But let me get the moss off and I will be back. I ended up actually spraying this down with some bleach and then just scrubbing it really good with some super hot water. And I think it looks much better. Still draining some water out, which is fine. Here comes the fun part. So I have this ginormous piece of burlap. Let me move this over here. Burlap, okay? Because the idea is pretty much I'm going to cover the whole mount, okay, with the burlap. But what I want to do, cut a hole in the center of the burlap to go around Ms. Lady here. I'm just going to put the aerial roots that are already in there underneath everything, but because I want her to set flat like this on here. That's the idea, and I thought I broke something, but I didn't. That's the idea. Now, can we accomplish that? And then have the burlap come up, and then I'm going to put the media inside the burlap and then close it all up. So let's get started. Let's see. I probably should let's see, are you broken? No, it's just the way you're growing. Oh my goodness. So I'm probably, let's make it smaller than we need at first. Oh no, I'm afraid that one's gonna break. I'm really concerned about this growth right here that's kind of growing down. I'm worried about breaking it because there is a nice new little root tip. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see, where is it? So, put my hand right there, but there's a nice little root tip. Let's see if we can get it right where I'm moving my finger. I don't know if you can even see that, but there's beautiful little root tip coming. And then the media that I'm going to put in there is just moss, and then I did add some kind of medium perlite, and there's a couple of pieces of bark in there, but it's mainly moss. Mainly moss. Like I said, though, I've already cut it up, and I don't have enough of it in the full to remount her the way she was mounted. All right, and let's see, let's start about right here. And like I said, I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller than I think I need. Didn't know you were coming to an arts and crafts class today, did ya? But I just like the look of the burlap on the mounts, guys. I know I've said that before, and Ken, this is probably the best idea ever. All right, so there's that. Now let's see if we can get all of what needs to come in. And again, if I end up damaging some of the older roots, I'm okay with that. It's the newer roots that we're more concerned with. I think I might have made it a little too big. That's okay, we can fix that. We can fix that with the wire, because we can just close it on up. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's keeping you from going flat? There we are. Let's see. What if we do her kind of like that? No, because it was growing this way. Let's keep that piece hanging down. We'd really like it to go different. And this time around, though, I'm not putting moss up underneath her like I did before. And then there's that. I didn't think this through. How I'm going to get the orchid to stay while I do everything else. Well, we will lay her right here. Get our wire. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to work up underneath the burlap. Let's pick Miss Lady up by the back pieces. Spread her roots back out. And I'm going to go through the old pieces here. Just loop her on through the older growth to the other side of the mount here. All right, let's flatten her back out. Oh, I don't want you coming through the burlap. We're gonna go here and then where's the other piece here? Sorry, I'm over here chatting with myself, guys, because I need to be uber careful here. Twist from the back while I'm trying to hold her in place. And that is right by a lovely root. Well, that's okay though, as long as we keep her from, there we go. That's good enough for that, to hold her in place at least, while I decide I'm gonna do this. So the burlap has to kind of go up this way. So now, and if anybody's laughing, yay, laugh in the comments too. Let me know how you think this is gonna turn out. So now what I'm gonna do is, probably should have wet this, but I didn't. So we're going to just take the media, and I'm going to just place it on the mount with her. There we go. And I'm just gonna kind of press it into all the crevices and whatnot that's in there. See what happens. We will see what, if this doesn't work, then once I get some more moss in, I'll just take her off of here again, because she won't have established yet, hopefully. And I think I have her way too far down. I do. She's too far down, guys. I wanted her more in the center of the mount instead of down here at the bottom. I wanted her more up here. So let's undo what we just did. And let me loosen her back up, hold her. I'm holding her from the old growths. It's kind of hard to do things when you can't see what you're doing. Okay, I'm gonna edit out this part here because it's gonna be a minute. All right, so I have her on here nice and secure now. I also took a couple of pieces, let me move that so you can kind of see, a couple of pieces of wire right here and kind of hooked these burlap together, kind of closed the hole a little bit because I felt like the hole was a little too big. Now we are going to put our media in theory. I can get up under here now. You know what, let me wet this media because it is dry. Let me just kind of dampen it a little bit so that it's easier to, one, deal with, and two, so it doesn't start flying off everywhere. I'm just going to put a little bit around the whole orchid. Hopefully kind of create somewhat of a little potty pot here and here to encourage some growth inside our little burlap mounted pot. I think someone called it a mounted pot. I was making sure I wasn't burying a growth in moss and spoiling it, because that would not be a good thing. Tell me what different ways you've done your mounts. Like, what unique ways have you decided to kind of try something different, and did it work for you? Or did you end up having to go back to the usual methods? There's my hook. Okay, I just had to make sure I knew where my hook was. And then I'm just going to wrap it here, and then we're going to wrap it here, and then I need to make sure I leave those out. So right now it looks like a little blanket around her. I think that is so precious. Oh, you know what? No, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get to the back of this without damaging her. That is going to be the fun part. So I'm just going to do like I'm sewing, and hopefully this will cooperate and just go straight up the back. And it did. I just have to find it now. There it is. And then I'm just going to pull here. And this is the same wire. Let me move you guys up some. Hold on just 1 second. I'll edit this part out because it is kind of shaky. All right, so this is the same wire as what I was using for, and there's the hook. So and I don't care if there's a lot of bubbles in the burlap itself, because in theory it will fill up with roots. That's always the goal, isn't it? So basically I'm just kind of sewing it, I guess you could say, together. Just kind of looping it through the burlap and hoping it pokes out at the other side. There we go. We'll come over on this side and tighten it in the back, making sure that I keep my hook available. And then this piece, I'm gonna have to use a separate wire for that piece right there. Tighten all these wires together. All these wires, it's one literal wire. And it kind of looks nasty in the back, as long as it looks pretty in the front, right? And if I need to, I can go through the sides, the holes. I can open up these holes and put a little more media in there, but I don't want to fill it with media too much. There she is. Didn't turn out too bad. Not what I envisioned, to be honest, but it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm kind of happy with it. Now she's good, hopefully, for another 3 years, maybe 2. Hopefully she outgrows it. There it is. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.